Welcome back, everyone. We had such an amazing day today, and thank you all so much for everyone who joined us at the library for the flash mob. It was so much fun, and if you get one of those packets and you're tuning in because you got a random act of kindness, welcome. Today is World Down Syndrome Day, and all day we've been raising money for Down Syndrome Indiana, but also bringing awareness to different issues throughout the Down syndrome community. And now I'm here with a very special volunteer. I'm here at DSI, Marvin, Selva. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
All right, Kirsten, thank you. I appreciate it. A little about myself is just basically a person that has a child with Down syndrome. 5 years old now. She was born. We were one of the lucky families, if you can call it that, that had awareness prior that she was going to be born with Down syndrome. So we were able to start looking up information, my wife in particular, and that's where she found Down Syndrome Indiana to help educate us and start reaching out and understanding, speaking to other parents. And I say advantage because some people have a child, then they discover that they might have a child with Down syndrome, and now it's last minute looking into what to do, what does this mean to us, you know. But that's my part of it. And as far as the special part is, I guess, it's my daughter, Ambreen. She's 5 years old now, born with Down syndrome, helped bring some light into our lives with that. And I always like to make it clear to people that it's not bad news, it's good news. Obviously, it's a shocker because at the beginning I didn't know what to expect. Right. My wife and I, what does that mean? But this is part of what I have done in wanting to be part of DSI, to help educate people, to help educate others, how important it is to not make this a bad moment, make it a special moment. It's this child that was born into someone's life. Let's make it a special moment for them.
Right. So tell us about the organization that you co-founded here at DSI.
Well, Down Syndrome Indiana was definitely here way before me.
Right.
But it was our go-to resource. It provided information from the moment before she was born, from the moment she was born, from the moment she needed to get daycare. I had no idea. She came home with oxygen. She came home with a heart monitor, breathing monitor. One family would normally bring a diaper bag with them. We had a diaper bag, oxygen tank, and then we also had the monitor. So we're carrying all these different items. Who cares for a child that has all these different things?
Right.
Eating disability, we have to feed her, it was an NG tube through her nose first, then we went to an NG tube through her stomach. Who works with that? You can't take a child like that to a normal daycare. So DSI helped us find that, and that was the important part. As I started to come and get more involved with Down Syndrome Indiana, then I was presented with a Spanish group. Very adamant, obviously, I come from a Hispanic background, and very adamant in helping everybody not to have to isolate someone because of lack of communication. And I've discovered that there was obviously a Spanish group, started joining them and talking to them, and it's a time to have families meet, get to meet other families, get to hear other families, their situation as it is now, the situation when it was before. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You get the opportunity to speak to these families. Right. The opportunity was that, and then as time went by, 5 years basically since I've met with the group and got the opportunity to ask if I wanted to help out with the group and be a team leader. And I joined others that were already there with them, and I said, sure, see what I can do. And just basically offer the opportunity to teach people, new families, that they're not alone, that this doesn't have to be a difficult situation, an opportunity to let them know that there's resources, that this is not a bad thing. This is not something that cannot be managed. Yes, your child might be coming home with all these different tubes and connections and electric this and oxygen that. So what? Then you have these families that tell you, that's the way my child came home, look at them now.
Yes.
And it helps motivate that person, the family. I had one family that really, really thought, my child is not going to be a normal child. I'm like, don't get misinformed.
Right.
Learn, educate, DSI, Spanish group, Cuenta, Conmigo, all these different groups that we have that are different branches from DSI help educate these families, resources. We have doctors that come in that provide information. We have organizations that help educate us. Just the other day, coming here 5 years, I just learned something I didn't know was available to us, and I'm going to take advantage of it, But yes, that's how important this group is for us.
And see, I really like what you touched on. So prior to us going on live, we actually had a FaceTime session with your daughter, and you explaining all the different things that you all were faced with when she came home. And then seeing her now, I'm just like, where did that go? You know, you look at her and you see so much joy, and it's like you don't know what she's been through. So I think that's a beautiful message. So thank you for what you're doing. And so this group with the Conmigo meets the first Wednesday, February through November, from 6 to 8 here at DSI. And we really want to welcome everyone to come here and to be a part of this organization. So what other advice would you have for new families? I know you touched on a lot, but what else would you tell a new family that is expecting?
That they're not alone. There's no reason to feel that you are isolated, that this is going to be something very difficult. You're not alone. Why reinvent that wheel when there's plenty of families? And that's what I feel helped us know and understand, cope with. You asked me the moment that we got introduced, and I'll tell you this is the part that I think sometimes our medical providers fail us because they get into that routine, not because they're trying to be mean. I think they fall into the routine like this is just another case every day that we deal with. And it's not. It's a family. I always say there's a family behind the situation. We don't know the details. If you were to hear my total story of our family, of what transpired, you would come to a better understanding and say, oh my God, no wonder. And now I understand how we stand, how would they feel. So what I try to tell them is that sometimes we got notified by a phone call. Hey, so we wanted to let you know that this genetics testing came back. Your child might have Down syndrome. We're like, okay. I didn't know how to respond to that. What does that mean? Oh my God, we just had this other situation. This is another one. What do we do? You don't have to go through that alone. That's the key thing. If I can grab everybody's hand that was going to be introduced with this message, it's going to be a message of joy, not of sadness and sorrow and oh my God. Ask me now, hey Marvin, you're going to have a child with Down syndrome? I'm like, woo, really? Cool. Let's move on. Let's see what we're going to do. It's so easy. And we want to have every family, if we can be there. I know if I asked every family that watches us, every family that's organized with Down syndrome Indiana, if they were given the opportunity, they all would be in line to sit there and be with that family to receive the news, to be with that family to receive the new baby in life, to help them and understand that there's a lot of resources. Ask me 25 years ago, where would I be if you told me Down syndrome? I didn't know nothing. I knew people, but I didn't know nothing of details of what it meant. We have come such a long way. Life expectancy for them, treatment, services, so much. These children could be fully functional, living on their own. When I saw the first person, when my child wasn't born yet, we saw the first person. Now, you know, you buy a blue car, now everybody has a blue car. We get the news we're going to have a child with Down syndrome. She was born. I go to an event and saw an adult person with Down syndrome drinking beer, and I'm like, they can drink beer. God. like if it's not normal, they can't drink beer. But I didn't know that, right? So that's part of the educational process, and I love it. I love it. If I come to us, have questions, don't be afraid to ask. If you're afraid to come, send your family, send a relative. We have families that have a cousin or a relative, an uncle, aunt that comes in behalf of the other family. A wife comes in because the husband is in shock, doesn't know what to do, feels bad. You get all kinds of stories, and whatever we can do to make it better, make you feel comfortable and realize the love of the joy of that child coming into your life. It's the greatest thing.
I think you hit right on it. It's just knowing that you're not alone through this process. You know, other people are going through that, and you find so much comfort when someone's like, oh yeah, like I've been through, I did that too, and this is what I learned from it. So that's awesome. That's so awesome. So when is the next time that we can be a part of a meeting with you and learn all these awesome things?
Well, it's not just me. I don't want to centralize it about me. It's not just me. I was playing a minute ago. I said, I think I got conned in getting to be part of the meeting here, right? I didn't really know what I was getting into, but it's the organization that puts it together, the team leaders, and the people that are asking for information. Sometimes some information repeats itself, but that's only because there's always new families. So we want to be able to make sure that everybody gets that information. But the next meeting is coming up April 3rd, Wednesday. So that would be the next Spanish meeting. We do have other types of meetings. go to the DSI website, make a phone call. Somebody's going to give out numbers. Call anybody, whoever you think you want to reach out to, and definitely get involved, and we'll set you up with a meeting that might be more prepared for you. We have a meeting that's in Spanish that is for children with autism. We have some family has a child with Down syndrome and autism, but the family feels the autism part is the part they want to work with more to develop and get better with. So we have a Spanish group for that. So call us up, definitely meet us up. You never know what we're going to have. There's always very good information that is well received and well educated for the people to provide anything you can have. And if it's not that, guess what? Just socializing with the other family. Ask them, how was your child at this age? How was your child when they became this age? How is your child coming up to a teenage, becoming an adult? Someone else is going to share that story with you, and you're going to be like, oh, all right, I have nothing to worry about.
You guys, this is just awesome conversation. I think we could talk for more hours, but we want to get you guys to donate more to our DSI Day of Giving and share more stories. So if you are a part of a minority group or you're just a part of an organization here at DSI, we want to hear from you in the comments. So share your story below and make sure you use our hashtag DSI Day of Giving. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.